Have you ever heard of the theory that people see in others what they know about themselves? It's a pretty simple theory, and even if you haven't really heard it spelled out like that, you've probably thought about it yourself before from time to time. The idea is pretty simple. If somebody's a liar, they assume everybody lies. If somebody's a thief, they assume everybody is a thief. If somebody's evil, they assume everybody's at least got a little bit of evil in them. And people that are good usually tend to think that other people are good too. And this is something that I won't sit here and say that I've come to some grand realization about or anything like that, but I think it's certainly something that has become much more prominent and in your face since the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And that showed up a couple of ways. I think on the right, I think it was certainly evident with people like Charlie Kirk and a lot of other, political pundits and streamers and podcasters and things like that that go out and do things and make their voices heard. I think for the most part, a lot of them thought this'll never really happen, right? People are never really gonna do anything extreme to me. Not really, right? And then of course it actually did happen. And I think it also speaks to the flip side of this and why it is that liberals in general tend to scream so passionately for gun control. Because ultimately, when it comes down to it, they're the ones that actually would do something truly evil with a gun. And they know this. And this has been evidenced before. I've heard anti-gunners, liberals, on shows like Bill Maher and in other interview type situations say things like, I just wouldn't trust myself with a gun in the house. And that has nothing to do with people who are pro-gun, right-wingers, people like myself, libertarian gun owners. It has to do with them because they know that they would do something awful and evil and horrible with a gun. And so they assume that everybody else, specifically the people that own most of the guns, they assume they're the same way, that they are just as evil and have just as much darkness in their hearts. Of course, we don't. We would never dream of doing something like that. What happened to Charlie Kirk, what happened at the trans Catholic school shooting, what happened back in 2016 on a baseball field in Washington, D.C. when a Bernie Sanders supporter tried to take out a third of Congress, all Republicans. We wouldn't do any of those things, ever. It would not even cross our minds to do those things. I mean, there are probably about 450 million guns in this country. If gun owners were a problem, I think you would know about it, right? And that's what it is. That's what it boils down to. Ultimately, it's not that us gun owners are evil. It's because the liberals are. It's because the left wing is so evil and violent and degenerate. They know they would do something horrible with guns. And so they assume everybody else is just as evil as they are.